memes return, but we have some things that we're going to talk about right off the bat. So, thank you for being here for those that are live. I think that this is going to be an AMA that is heard primarily in the future. A lot of our community are in Asia. I recognize it is 11:04 p.m. for most of our friends there, including PK and Ramen. Thank you for jumping on and being here with me. And for many people over in South Korea and other further east regions of Asia, it's even later. It's after midnight. So there's a few things that we're going to talk about today. We will cover some news. We'll have some fun. We'll laugh together. We'll do an open AMA. I'll take any question, obviously from PK, who leads our army of raiders, and from Raman, who leads our army of missionaries. And anybody in the audience, you can post a question in the comments, or you could, potentially jump on stage. It's easier for us to bring you up if we know who you are. Um, so we'll do that. We'll get to that in a moment. I will talk about the time that Todor and Kokoro and I and James have been spending the last week and a half covering our new strategy. So we've been talking about a revised strategy the last week and a half, 2 weeks. We had a lot of really thoughtful, great questions come to us publicly on X, as well as on Telegram and privately, and we've kind of brought these things together, and we've had a chance to think through, okay, how do we lay out a roadmap that empowers us to communicate to the community exactly where we're at, where we're going, how we're going to get there in a way that is realistic. There's been times that we have had soft verbal deals done, or different things that were like we thought were in place, and then things shift, and so sometimes the roadmap can, if you look in the past and follow everything I've ever said, I've tried my very best, so as has Todor and James and Kokoro in writing, to be very consistent, thoughtful, integrous, authentic, transparent. But because we haven't had a revised, clarified roadmap and strategy, I think it has made it sometimes challenging for the team. So we'll get to the roadmap as well. The most important thing we're going to talk about, we're going to start with, is the most recent situation around concern over our intellectual property. And so that is going to be what I'm going to start with today. And that is where we're going to kind of kick things off. So just to be clear, as always, I'm going to introduce and welcome our friends that are here on stage with me. We got Mr. Cool and PK and Ramen. I think that we have Nettie potentially jumping in. All of you can see that we have Todor in the audience. The reason Todor is not on the stage right now is you may have seen him on X with Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr. came to Bulgaria. I think it wasn't just to take a picture with Todor. There's probably more to it than that. But Todor also went out to DC for the crypto ball to spend time with him. This is all done through a partner of Todor, Nexo. Todor is getting ready to jump on a stage. And so the thought of Todor trying to jump in here to co-manage the things that I'm about to talk about while he's also getting ready to go promote KIKI on stage, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we want to be thoughtful and allow Todor to listen in. But Todor is listening in, and he will be able to be available, in all of our following AMAs. Last week was his birthday. This week he's talking. With that, let me take a moment to let everyone that's here on the stage say hello. Looks like Todor is going to jump in and say hi, which is nice. But Mr. Cool, let me start with you, my friend. It's been a week since I seen you. Last time I saw you, I was on day 38 of a water only fast. Now I'm on day 5 of recovery. It feels pretty similar. But it's nice to see your smile. And I always appreciate your presence. Thank you for being here with us, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here as always. I was just sitting here thinking about that whole Donald Trump thing, with Todor and how important it is. And it's not always about like getting a foot into the door. It's also kind of understanding the way that, the higher ups, like the governments and people are like starting to think about crypto and think about coins in general. And I think that that's like some valuable information. Also, could be a foot in the door, and also could be a couple other things. But I was just sitting there thinking about no matter what happens with it, he's going to come away with a lot of valuable information, and that's really cool. Very happy to be here, but I just wanted to say, like, it's glad to see that your skeleton's not popping out this time, and you're doing all right.
I feel good. I feel good. Today's been every day gets a little bit better in the recovery process.
It seems like it's always sunny where you are, When every time I look and see the stream yard, like I'm just looking over there being like, man, it's just a nice day in Ian's world.
This is what it's like where I live. So this is Capitola Village in Santa Cruz. It's a little brisk. It's probably 12 Celsius, about 60 Fahrenheit, but it's not bad. The sun rises right here, so it hits these buildings every day, and the buildings like turn like a rainbow every morning, which happened about an hour ago. It's a little foggy. What I think of fog as like free air conditioning. So yeah, the weather here is basically like 10 to 20 Celsius, so that'd be like 55 to 75 Fahrenheit, like 300 days a year. It's I feel so very grateful. Not everybody, even gets to experience a place like this at all, let alone to be able to live here. So
Absolutely.
I'm thankful for it. Todor, you jumped on stage. uh, you did, and then you disappeared. Well, at least you wanted to try. If Todor comes back, we'll let him say hi. Um, Raman, would you like to jump in and say hello? And you represent our House of Missionaries, those that have been effective and will become more and more effective over time of recruiting new people to engage with us. And we so appreciate your leadership and all that you do. So appreciate your ability to communicate with us. So many things, Raman, that you are clearly articulating to me and our team about where the community's at that really allow us to better think through these things. So if you don't mind jumping off mute, we'd love to have you jump in and say hello.
Thank you, Ian, and congratulations on completing your 40-day fast. It's nice to be here. Uh, Hello, everyone. The House of Missionaries is preparing for a KIKI exhibit in a BTC pizza party event this May in the Philippines. It is the largest BTC pizza party event yet in Southeast Asia. We will be preaching the gospel of KIKI in the event. So anyone from the KIKI community who's interested in participating in the event, you are very welcome to join the House of Missionaries. And I already spoke with Kiki Nakokoro and the organizers of the BTC Pizza Party event. And I also finalized the design of the Kiki Cup merch. So hopefully we receive the funding so that we can already secure the booth for Kiki and start with the production of the Kiki Caps right away. So we will set up a Kiki booth there with the Kiki logo and banner. That's where we'll distribute the Kiki merch or the Kiki Cap in the event and also some flyers. We will take this opportunity to promote Kiki and have the attendees of the event join and follow Kiki's socials. And in return, they will receive a cool Kiki cap. Um, we will be socializing with the attendees to have the chance to introduce Kiki to them. We want to demonstrate that Kiki keeps building and Kiki actively shows up in events. And we highly encourage the community to participate in the House of Missionary activities. We will make sure that you have fun, so join the movement and be the blessing. Thank you.
So this is great. Just a couple things on that, if you could just clarify. Um, what's the date in May and the exact location? Is it BGC?
It will be in May 30, and the venue is in Metro 10 Pasig City.
Pasig City. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So I lived in Manila for the most part of 2024. I still have a really important team there that works with me full time. So Raman, let's make sure that everyone that is associated with me personally, that's involved in Kiki or just involved in my other businesses, Web3 AI, as well as Attention Live, that we can all participate in it. I have seen you post some things on it. Is there a specific X post that we can pin to this AMA right now? Um, if there is, if you could maybe just DM that specific post over to the main Kiki Cat official account so we can pin that. Or if not, if you don't mind just maybe throwing one together as PK introduces himself and maybe Todor says a word. Todor, if you want to jump back on stage, everybody'd love to hear your voice if you got a moment. Um, and so on this front for events, since you brought it up, right now, James Afonte brought his team of half a dozen people to Dubai. Right now, we have about 2 dozen of our original Kiki contributors and ambassadors that are all in Dubai. And they're all in Dubai primarily representing OKX, BitGet, Binance, or one of the major exchanges. The advantage for us in that is when OKX or BitGet or Binance or one of these groups, when they fly over one of our KOLs that are still holding their Kiki and they're still a fan, they're still engaged, they still want to see us be successful. And now they're going over and they're all together over at an event like Token 2049 in Dubai. And Andy Lim has been so kind as to make us a sponsor of his Big Meme event. So we have a lot of really fun things percolating over there right now. Now, just because amazing things are happening with events doesn't always reflect on the market, especially when the focus of the community might be on FUD that's being created. But nevertheless, there's a lot of wonderful things happening at events currently in Dubai. Last year, I actually lived in Dubai for a whole month during Token 2049. We just lived there for all of April. It was quite helpful for what we were working on. Now, the reason I bring up the event thing is because Ramen and the House of Missionaries have an event May 30th in the Philippines. And then we have the big annual Philippine Blockchain Week happening, I believe, June 11th through the 14th, something of that nature. And Kiki will be very involved in that. And we'll have multiple people on our team doing keynotes, and we'll have our team be in there. And we have lots and lots of great plans for Philippine Blockchain Week. And then NFT NYC happens the end of June. So that's June 24th through 26th. And I've been co-producing NFT NYC since we first launched it in 2019. My role has, minimized over time as the founders, Jody Rich and Cameron Bale, have done a great job managing that. You know, they scaled it to 18,500 ticket sales in 2022 when the bear market started. It was quite impressive. And OpenSea is back. Alex and Devin it was basically Jody and Cameron and myself and Alex and Devin from OpenSea that launched in 2019. OpenSea is back as our foundational sponsor. We're very, very excited about this year's event. I think I will be giving the most important talk I've ever given in my life. It'll be on tokenized communities and the benefit of NFTs, AI, and memes. And of course, I'll be talking very in depth about all that we've learned from Kiki. But if you've looked at Murad's talk that he did at Token 2049 in Singapore last year and the way that went viral, my intent for NFT NYC is to give a keynote speech that allows everyone in the industry to attach themselves to what it is that I share. And so that is my intent of what I want to do in that process. So we'll see how successful I am in doing so. But when you think about events, we have what Raman just suggested, May 30th in the Philippines. We have Philippine Blockchain Week mid June, and we have NFT NYC the end of June. And today, Todor is about to jump on stage and give a really important speech. His slide deck was so good, I thought we should send it to the Smithsonian. It's I wish I could build slide decks like Todor. Raman, thanks for jumping in. I think maybe PK will be back, but Carl, you jumped on stage. Thank you for being here, Carl. Please say hello. We love everything that you do with our House of Creativity and the House of the Arts. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Sorry for being late. I just had an internet problem, and gladly it's fixed. I get to come by here and share with you guys updates from my house. Members wise, it's not been like we've added a lot, but volume wise, I get to split out because of the creative lead that I put on, which is Scarlett. I get to divide the work that needed to do. I get to focus on the website meme maker that hopefully I can get to release by like the end of May, and he can focus on making the artworks for the raids or any artworks that the community can use. So it's much more divided. So hopefully after all of that, we can focus more on what I envision that making Kiki animated shorts. I have planned on making Kiki animated shorts hopefully by July. So I will start to make or show previews hopefully by June. So it's going to be a very fun few weeks, and I'm hoping that you will ride along with the fun stuff that I'm about to do.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. Matt, welcome to the stage. We've shared stages in the past. I know that you're a friend of our producer. Any friend of our producer is a friend of our community. Thank you for being here. Please jump in and introduce yourself to our friends.
Thank you so much for having us up here. I'm Matt. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer of WarpChain. But basically, I'm a DGen who's been 20 years in the gaming industry, making every sort of crazy games from mobile to PC to RuneScape to all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm just here for the vibes and here to help games and Web3 grow, be adopted, and spread the good decentralized word.
Well, the decentralized word is always a good word. And we need more of it. Thank you for being here. Looking forward to having you participate in the conversation. I think we'll have a pretty important conversation today. It's not often that a person in my position is able to jump in and deal with very specific, detailed concerns the way that I'll be able to today. And I think that you, Mr. Cool, Xiao, who just jumped in, as well as our three house leaders that are with us, will be able to participate in kind of how I lay that out. Xiao, great to have you. Thank you for jumping in. Oh, you're back as a listener. Well, jump on stage and say hello. PK, looks like you're back. You want to say hello to everybody, PK?
Yes, hello everyone. Nice to see you, Sir Ian, Mr. Cool, the friends. Yeah, I think we're all excited what the expert about to say. Let's hear them.
Excellent. All right, Xiao, you back with us? I see you jumping in and out. Well, you'll get connection. When you do, we'll be good. Todor, if you want to jump in, raise your hand. Otherwise, I'm gonna get started. So okay, everybody. There's three things I want to cover today. Uh, we'll at the end we'll get to our topic of culture memes return. We'll have an open dialogue about that. We'll talk about news of the day, news of the week. We'll have an open AMA. Any questions that you guys have, feel free to post in comments. And ideally, questions are best to come through Ramen, who leads our missionaries, Carl, who leads our creatives, and PK, who leads our army. They represent the community, as do all of you, but they're the voice. So please have them speak up for what and anything that's been posted. The second thing that we'll deal with is going to be around the strategy. I'm just going to share some things of kind of where we've landed with Kokoro, Todor, James Afonte, and myself, and where we're going to go and what we intend to lay out with the roadmap. But let's start with what matters most, and back this bad boy up. Okay, so there's been a concern with our intellectual property. Now, the only reason why there's any concern with our intellectual property is because we are in this industry called crypto and blockchain and Web3, and this is a normal rhythm. I've been in this industry for 10 years, and anytime people are jumping into a project to make money and then they start to lose money, they start to look for reasons to express their frustration. And so it's very normal that if you have a project like ours that started off at 0 and goes to 10 million day one and then goes back down to a million, and then it explodes to 100 million on day 6 and then fluctuates between 2 and 80 million over the course of the last bit of time, and now we're back kind of close to where we started. When you have something like that happen, a common thing is that the people that are holding a lot of assets, they have a lot of money invested, and now they're starting to wonder, is this real? Like, does he actually have integrity? Is he really in this for the long haul? Is Todor really here? Like, is Kokoro really gonna like hold his 50 million tokens that he's bought recently off the market for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Is James Afonte still the CMO? Like, why is he in Dubai with OKX? And so everybody's looking for things to pick on, right? Like, why aren't more people joining the House of Missionaries and recruiting? Why aren't more people joining the House of Army and raiding? Why aren't more people joining the House of Creativity and doing more animations? And so what happens is people begin to feel concern over their assets in the moment. They lose sight of the fact that almost every single project that hasn't quit has re-hit its all-time high. Ours was over 100 million, so that's a 25x increase of where we're at today. They lose the vision that we're going to be building a multi-billion-dollar IP business in spite of our token. Therefore, the token will follow, and we expect the token to be a multi-billion-dollar market cap token. And so instead of being focused on like, oh, I just got to hold my ground, I just need to have a belief and help with this. I want to help the project be successful. I want to spread positive energy. I want to participate in rating or recruiting or creativity or ideas. So instead of that, it becomes, well, what can I pinpoint and blame? So the recent one has been IP. So apparently, some folks poked around and found on Whippo, the IP site, that the old IP that we had with Kiki, which had been shared 9.6 billion times when we acquired it on Giphy, that had been expired, and that today we have 12.6 billion shares. So let me talk about this for a moment. With IP, in the case where we acquired it from a friend for a set amount, we've been clear, it was a $1 million acquisition. With IP, there are 3 things in place when it comes to the IP. Number 1, we have an IP transfer agreement from our friend, the creator of the original Kiki Cat, which was the mascot for his e-commerce business, to us. In that agreement, we have a set price, we have dates that we made payments, and the payments have been made. So that original creator has released all rights to us of all the IP. And so we have a legal document that would protect us and show that we own it. So that is in place. And I scrubbed out the things that felt confidential, addresses, names, numbers, etc. And I posted that in the Telegram group chat because that's where the concern was exploding. Apparently, that didn't help. Apparently, that caused people to go and focus on the third thing I'll get to. So the first thing is that we have the IP proof that we own it. Number 2, the one and only asset that really mattered with the IP was the Giphy site. Now, why? Because we wanted to make sure that when we launched our Kiki token at the end of December, that when somebody went to the Giphy IP page, that our CA number, the Solana number to buy the token, and that the links all went to us. We want to make sure that when you went to the Giphy page with 10 million views at that time, that the Twitter link went to our Twitter page, and that the website link went to kikicat.xyz. You see, the original owner of the IP only had one thing that we valued. The one and only thing that we valued was that Giphy page. And so we acquired all rights to the IP, and we acquired the one and only asset that we cared about. When it comes to the Whippo, that was not of concern to us. And let me explain why. We have intellectual property lawyers on our team. So we understand how to do this business. And because we did not move forward with the original KIKI cat, we did not want to rush just renewing the existing registered trademarks as though that's all that we have. No, we created a whole revived version of KIKI with the big yellow eyes and all the different stuff that we've done around KIKI. And so our team has been working on reinstating the existing registered trademarks for what was, as well as all the new registered trademarks for what is. Now we're fully protected because we have the proof that we own all this. We have the release from the original owner. We own the Giphy. We own all the social media sites. We have all the proof that we've been building this for the last 5 months. And we have IP lawyers that are both part of our team and extended from our team. So there's absolutely no concern whatsoever on our end about IP. And just because people on our community have concern doesn't mean we do. Like, I want to be clear with everybody in our community. Your anxiety is not my anxiety. Your concern, I'm sensitive to it, I'm empathetic to it, but it's not going to make me concerned. I'm not going to all of a sudden start to be anxious and concerned and worry about the market price just because you do. If anything, you should be adopting my energy. You should adopt my confidence. You should adopt my vision. I'm the CEO. It doesn't mean I'm in charge. I'm just one of 20,000 holders. But I've raised my hand like Captain Kirk, right? What's the difference between Captain Kirk and the bartender on the Enterprise and Star Trek? They neither one of them are better than the other. One person wants to make drinks and one person wants to take the responsibility of leading the ship. And I raised my hand. I said, I'll take responsibility of being the voice of our project. Well, part of the reason why I've taken responsibility of being the voice of the project is so that I can clearly articulate on your behalf, on the community's behalf, exactly what we're doing, why we're doing it, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. As the voice that leads this movement, I will not be fudded. I will not question myself or our roadmap or what we're doing or if we're doing every single thing that you think is right or wrong. I will stay the course, and you can either draft behind my energy of confidence, of integrity, of diligence, of vision, of ambition, of hopefully, success, as I have Todor and Afonte and Kokoro by my side and the house leaders. Either you can come alongside us and stay forward on the focus, or not. You can drop your bag and you can exit, and we release you and we say peace to you, and we have no issue. It's all good. You're just making it easier for people that are committed to us to be able to acquire more of the asset themselves at a cheaper price. So it's not like it's a bad thing. And when it comes to all these shakeups, it does allow new opportunities to emerge. So it's not such a bad thing, and everything's going to be just fine, everybody. So, in conclusion, on the IP thing, there are three parts to IP. Number one, it's the contract I posted in Telegram that was also reposted on X. And that contract shows that we had a clear agreement with the original creator that they released full control over the IP and the asset to us for a set amount of money, and that we paid those payments, and now it's ours. Number one. Number two, the one and only asset they had that was important to us was the Giphy link. We got full access, which is why the Giphy page links to RX, links to our website. We had to have that to launch the meme project. Otherwise, we felt like it's not real. Number three, it's all the registered trademarks in the world, which that is where the FUD is around. Like, oh no, they've defaulted or they haven't been renewed yet. We know that's not an issue for us. That's because the original IP has been changed. We've had Kiki eyes. We have to, yes, of course, renew our original IP. Our IP team is in the process of that. But we also had to do a lot around registered trademarks, around all the new Kiki IP that we've been creating, because we're building a multi-billion-dollar IP universe with comic books and video games and merch and digital assets and NFTs. And so we got to get all our ducks in a row to do that right. Friends, this is the answer that you're going to get. This is the answered the best I can do to explain why we are where we're at with the IP. And if that is not satisfactory to you, I understand. There's nothing more for Kokoro or Toto or I to say. You can listen. I just gave the explanation 2 times, 3 times in a row. You can listen, you can transcribe it, break it down. It's the same exact thing. It's very, very simple. For us, there is zero concern around IP ownership. Nothing has changed with Kiki. And if you believe us, then you are stoked that the market is more affordable right now. And you know that it doesn't matter where the price is at because you know the inevitability of where we're going. If this is not satisfactory to you and you feel like, hey, this is not what I expected, then no big deal. No big deal. We're good. This is the rhythms of being part of a tokenized community. The rhythms is people jump in and people jump out, and it's a bit of a revolving door. So before I go on to strategy, I'm just going to open the floor. Mr. Cool, Shao, Matt, PK, Ramen, Carl. I would just, go ahead. Shao, you raised your hand. Go for it, my friend.
You know, I think I have a perfect analogy. I just got rugged over 10 different times and I still persisted. And I think when you're part of the community, you're definitely going to have up and downs, just like I did just getting on X. But I think the value of it is the persistence, is the process. I'm going to drop a little bit of fun in this. I'm at Token 2049. You know what's fun is seeing so many people who are so um, passionate about the people, the community, the projects, um, the opportunities, the network. And I think those are all the same things here. Kiki is such a valuable place because of the consistency. You guys show up every single week on spaces where you can have open AMAs. You can drop them just in the comments, and as well as obviously, in all the different platforms that you have going on. And so for me, this is just another thing. But the reality too, I think it's just a level of, um, maturation, right? It's like if you've been in the market, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto, whether it's commodities, and I don't know, maybe you're crazy and you're a crazy trader like that does futures and options, but all of be said is like this is the up and downs. What I will say is that the consistency, the love, the things that are going on within the community is phenomenal. I actually love the fact that people get a little salty. They want to come back. It tells you people care. If you don't have people pushing back and showing you their thoughts, their feelings, then there should be concern. And I think the fact that you guys handle it well and you guys show the level of empathy you do, it's the crazy part. But being out here in Token, you can see the vibrancy. You can see, the market uptick. You can see how people are so bullish. And I think, at the end of the day, we're here for fun. We're loving this. Kiki is one of the best IPs out there. The fact that some of the things go through like renewals and they go through some complicated things in terms of compliance and registration and IP and all that fun stuff. It does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. And especially the fact that you guys, are going into the strategy soon, shortly, is just another indicator of how much more bullish I personally am because, I've gotten to know the team, I've gotten to know the community, and it's just with emphatic love for me because it's like every day you guys show up. And that's the biggest thing, right? When you don't hear things and people aren't getting the feedback, it's just something different. But you know what? I'm going to keep going to these conferences. I'm going to keep showing up to these spaces. I'm going to keep doing these things because, this has become my life and how I engage with the culture, with the people, with the network. And I'm just so, what I took from what you said was just so much love. And the fact that you're so comprehensive about it is just even more so because, you're talking about all the different people's, um, just the way they feel about things, right? Just being real. So don't just wanted to shout out, wanted to make sure I still attend, even though I'm out here trying to live my best life. But at the same time, you got to show up for the community every week. So here I am, and great to see that you're doing well. That you come through the other side of this amazing cleanse, and that the whole team is just pushing along and doing many great things. So obviously onwards and upwards, my friend. Love to hear more from the rest of the audience, and obviously love to hear what you guys got cooking.
Thank you so much. So glad to hear from you from Dubai. It's one of the world's most incredible places. I sometimes think Dubai is like somewhere between heaven and earth in some regards. Obviously not in every way, but it's incredible what humans are capable of, and that's a great reflection of it. Yes, Zero. Cool. You got your hand raised. Ready.
Shao comes up and talks. Like I wanted to say something, especially someone that's at, in Dubai right now with Token 2049. And a lot of times, like these like events kind of get this little stigma that's like, oh, they're just like for parties and all this stuff. And all I've been hearing back about Token 49 2049 is that just amazing vibes, people actually caring, people building, people connecting. And that's what it's all about. And it's kind of coming at a really interesting time with the market. It's like we're all of a sudden having this upturn. My bags, everyone's bags, your meme coin bags, everything is kind of having this like turn up. And a lot of bullish stuff is on the horizon, and I really feel so good about that. And when I hear Shao talk about, how great it's been and all this stuff, like I get FOMO, and I'll tell you right now, I don't get FOMO for very many, events like that, because I've been to a couple back in 2021, 2022, and I didn't really feel like it was like that good. And we were in bull markets at that time. Right now we're in this weird market, but like the vibes just feel so good. Like we're like kind of like stewing and getting ready for that next leg up. And well, I don't mean next leg up, just like token prices going up, but like people really innovating and really pushing this space to where it's supposed to be. And it's we've been meaning to do this for so long. It's like crazy. But I just wanted to chime in because the vibes are just different this go around. And it's not just like some like me trying to like hype up somewhere because I traveled from the United States to Dubai. Like I'm still sitting in my house in Tennessee right here, wishing I was in Dubai because of the connections, because of the bullishness, and because of the energy and the vibes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Matt and our house leaders love to have you jump in and participate in the conversation if you have anything to share.
Happy to. I mean, one of the things that I look at when you're looking at IPs, you're looking at properties, and you're looking at NFTs, is why you join. Like, I never bought like a sappy seal because I felt like I was bad. I missed out on like the pudgies, even though we all kind of did. I bought it because I liked the community. I liked what they were posting. I liked the bullishness, and I liked the things around that. Like the best thing about communities centered around PFPs and NFTs and all of this kind of stuff is the fact that you don't you don't want to cash in that value by selling that NFT. You want to keep that. You want to be part of that. And that's why it's so good when you have tokens, when you have all of the new stuff that we're doing. And we have learned so much in the time since the heady days of 2021. And like I was at F Denver, I was at GDC, I was um, going to go to Dubai. But the FOMO, like for missing these things, is real because you talk to real builders, you talk to hackers, you talk to young people who are just starting out in Web3, and they're creating crazy on-chain shit with AI. You see brand new chains still being funded and popping up because this space is only ever going to get bigger. Like the reason we have so many scammers, I say this again and again, the reason we have so many scammers is because we have demand. And we have demand without the sort of like the domination of monopolies and all of these things. We're still in a time when any community, any one group of people can come up. And why not adorable cats? Why not come up? And I just say I'm here for it. I love what you guys are doing, and I'm also part of building something for people to launch games in a good way in Web3 and become like a gold standard. Right? There are too many people out there, projects that get exploited by they go to raise or they go to list. The fees are too high. Everyone takes their little cut here and there. Marketing agencies, polls, whatever it is. Everyone's trying to get a piece of the project. And you know what's really special is holders and community around that. Because no matter how many people are trying to take a little cut as you go up, as long as you have your holders, as long as you have your back, and as long as you have your adorable cat NFTs. And to be honest, man, like I'm looking at these, I kind of want to get in. I feel like I'm underexposed.
Well, it's definitely a wonderful time. I think that our industry is poised for explosive growth. I think that not just Kiki, but lots and lots of tokenized communities, whether meme coins, which are very inclusive, or NFTs, which are very exclusive, but both have a very important place in our landscape. We're gonna see a lot of these things not slowly 100x. We're going to see them happen at breakneck speed because energy is going to be put around an NFT project or a meme project, and then that's it. People are going to believe in it, and they're going to go all in. I do just want to share beyond just like the fact that token is going really well. I want to share some news with everybody. I just want to encourage people about some of the things that are happening right now. So here's just a few things that have happened today alone. BlackRock advanced with 150 billion tokenized treasury fund and digital shares. And so this signals BlackRock's further push into crypto adoption. The SEC ends its investigation into PayPal stablecoin. So this is going to clear out a ton of regulatory hurdles. Trump Media is exploring a crypto token and wallet for streaming, indicating that Trump and his whoever's involved in that side of his business, that they see the media industry and crypto integration happening. So, like for people like me, who have worked on Attention Live for 7 years, and this is kind of my world is crypto and media. This is one of the greatest things I could ever imagine is that Trump's media company is involved in this. So anybody that's in that world, any content creator, any KOL, this is great news for you. Traders are increasing leverage on Bitcoin options as implied volatility drops to weekly lows, indicating market sentiment shifts. NASDAQ seeks the SEC approval to list Dogecoin ETF. Come on, could you imagine Dogecoin ETF? So we have an actual ETF against a meme coin, the first meme coin, signaling institutional interest in meme coins. And the final news piece that I have here for the day is Telegram launches $500 million debt tokenization fund and on-chain bond fund, expanding DeFi into real-world assets. So friends, the reason why I mention these good news elements is it can be very easy for us to be so insulated, right? It's like all about our houses, our token, our IP, our strategy, or it's about our friends are at Dubai Token 2049. There are literally 1,000 events happening right now concurrently all around the world. Todor is in Bulgaria doing an extremely important event for Bulgaria. Nobody's talking about that Bulgaria event that he's about to take the stage for in 14 minutes. And what's he going to do? He's going to share KIKI. He's going to talk about KIKI. It's like literally the greatest presentation I've seen. I mean, I wish Todor made all my presentations. All my talks would be more powerful. And so the reason why I try to share some of the good news happening outside of our environment is because we have such an amazing producer that's taken the energy and time to sift through the things and say, hey, Ian, here's some things that probably encourage the community. And I want to encourage all of you. I don't want you to look at only one thing, right? Don't focus on, okay, I'm gonna give you an analogy. We're gonna talk about the strategy. You ever seen the thing of like a whiteboard and then a person takes a pen and they put a little dot on the board and they say, everybody, what do you see? And everybody looks at the whiteboard with the dot and they go, I see a black dot. And then the guy goes, well, I see a lot of white space. And see, this is the thing. Oftentimes, we have all this open space, all this open canvas. We have this wide open space that can encourage us. So many good news stories, so many great things happening, so many amazing developments. But we just focus on that one little dot for some reason. And so I want to take your focus off of the little dot that's causing you to feel anxiety. And I want to put your focus on the amazing open landscape of where we're at and where we're going. So allow me to transition to the strategy. Now, I'll have much more on this, hopefully, for our next AMA. Todor and Kokoro and James Afonte and myself will finish this up with our team. We still need more input from our team before it's finalized. But here's where we're at on the strategy. As I told you, we are finalizing all of our work around our IP, not just the existing KIKI IP with the 12.6 billion views, the original KIKI, but all the new KIKI IP. And getting all that filed appropriately so that everything's protected before we start really releasing all of the video games and the merch and the digital assets and there's a onslaught of products that we'll be bringing to the market that are KIKI products. And we're going to build a multi-billion-dollar IP universe. Now, in doing so, we need to clearly articulate to the community what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and how we want to involve the community in doing so, right? So when we lay out a strategy for all of you of our roadmap of the next 18 months, let's say, we want to make sure that the strategy empowers Ramen to recruit more missionaries, to do more recruitment, and that Ramen feels like this is the greatest thing. I am so glad I got here early. Now there's a strategy. I know exactly where we're going. And we want PK to feel the exact same way about the House of Army. And we want Carl to feel the same way about the House of Creative. Last week I talked about the TV show House of David, and how he's on the ground. He got speared by Goliath and he got nicked, and now he's on the ground. Everybody thinks he's dead, and he's about to rise. And I said, this is where we're at as a project. We're at that part of the hero's journey. We're on the ground. We're about to rise and take down Goliath. And so that is still the case. And part of us taking down the giant, and part of our hero's journey, comes down to us having the strategy and the roadmap before all of you. So I recognize that our strategy and roadmap is the stone that we put into the sling. And so we are very mindful of it. We're listening to your questions. We're thoughtful about what you want to know. And right now, Todor, Jay, and I, and all of the people that are involved, James Afonte and Kokoro, all the people that are involved in this, we are meeting on a regular basis, like twice a day. And so by us meeting twice a day and us gathering for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and saying, okay, is this it? Are we ready to go to our team? Is this it? Are we ready to go to our team? Like, is this our finalized strategy? We say, okay, this is the stone that we're putting in the sling that we're going after and taking down the giant. So that is where we're at. We feel very close. I'd love to think that by next Wednesday, we have something that we can lay out. Obviously, it's not going to be a verbal thing. A roadmap should be put onto KIKI Cat XYZ, which is what you see on the screen if you're watching the video stream. And we have the advantage of not just having one person to deliver it, right? We have the media that we can deliver it, and some of the things that are coming that you'll notice is that we're going to be developing our IP across all socials, not just X, not just Telegram, but really putting a lot of effort toward TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and others. And you're going to see that we are going to start rolling out products, digital products, physical products. We're going to be a money-making business. We're going to find ways that the community can benefit from the money that we will be making. And so that is the strategy that is to come. And again, this comes down to us being finalized, us talking to our internal team, us laying it out to the House, the 4 houses and the leaders, and then us being able to kind of roll this out clearly and articulately to all of you. So that is the second update. The final thing I want to talk about is just an open AMA. So that's where we're at now. I'm ready to take questions. If Matt, Chow, Mr. Cool, any of our 3 house leaders that are in here, if any of you have any questions about anything that you want to ask about of things I've said around IP, our strategy, or anything that's come up, we can always expect me to be honest, transparent, and authentic. Either I will say, I don't know, and I'll get back to you, or I'll do my best to answer your questions. So please, I just want to open the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, go ahead.
go
Go
for
ahead,
it.
Matthew. No, you got
Thank
it,
you.
Matthew.
Thank you so much. Like, I just want to say, like, seeing what you guys are doing and seeing how, like, the belief levels and everything like that. If you do need or if you want assistance in releasing games, regardless of your chain, feel free to hit me up. You've got a fantastic community, and we literally do this. We have 300 years of experience in gaming, and we're co-founder of King.com, people who built Battle.net and all the rest, and we're here to assist. We're building a game, a Web2 game for a Bitcoin community right now for Ordinals. And if you guys need any just pro bono assistance or anything that you want to help you get your IP and your games realized, more than happy to push that.
Thank you for saying that. So we're always open to a conversation for sure, Matt. So right now we released the first of 15 games. We did that a couple months back, and that was a rocket ship game. It had kind of a social gambling element to it. That was done through Todor's Sachi platform, which is like a meme universe. And the next games were like a shooter game, a fighter game, a racing game. We recognized that this approach on gaming that we first came out with was not going to be as effective as some of the things that we had seen, like jump scare games. And so we started to shift our focus to what is required for us to either go after kind of this jump scare market on Steam or to go after a Roblox market. And so we would be very interested if you had anything involved or anything to bring to the table with Roblox. I do have some connections there as
But yeah,
well. But
I know someone who actually runs a company making purely exclusive games for Roblox.
okay,
And also, when it comes to Steam, we have one of our guys actually used to work at Valve. And when it comes to distribution, we got the people who scaled up, like Path of Exile and all the other crazy stuff as well. If you want to get in contact with Nintendo, or if you want to sort of look for any kind of IP, anything that you're looking for, just feel free to hit us up.
okay. So maybe the best thing to do is our producer could start a Telegram, group chat for you and I and Todor and himself, and then if there's others we want to pop in there, we can, and let's start a conversation because we're taking gaming very, very, very seriously. One of my mentors is the one that owns the license for Batman, and he made all the Batman movies and others. And so we understand the rhythms of building IP to the stratosphere. We understand the significance of being thoughtful about what Steam has become. We know that Steam has its own like Kickstarter type of environment, which allows people to kind of participate early on, feel like they're making the game, speaking into the game. We like that idea. We love what's happening with Roblox right now. We love what's happening with jump scare games. We still have a lot of passion about what we're doing with Sachi. So we are all in on this effort, and we are looking for partners that can help us. And we're a professional business. So we're looking to have real professional business Web2 gaming type conversations. And how do we do joint ventures, make money together? How do we do things that make a lot of sense? And then ultimately, how does our Web3 tokenized community benefit from all that we are doing? Because it's something that works hand in hand, right? The 20,000 holders of Kiki,
100%.
yeah, the 20,000 holders of Kiki, they're obviously the ones that are the first to jump in and play the games and engage with us. But they also want us to go find the next 200,000 holders. And to go find the next 200,000 holders, we're not going to do that by doing AMAs. We're going to do that by having comic books and Netflix or Amazon Prime shows. We're going to do that by having super exclusive, expensive merch, or merch for anyone at a Walmart, or having incredible NFTs or some other digital asset drop, or having this type of game or that type of game. So we're all about it, and we look forward to having a conversation with you.
Thank you so much. And we're also working with the people who have the Wheel of Time IP. One of the guys on the project that we're co-building. It's $100 million project backed from, I think it's 80 million of Web2 money and 20 million of Web3 money, backed by some of the biggest names there. The producer is actually, he was the executive director of Blair Witch Project back in the day, if you remember that movie, if you're as
Oh,
old
of
as
course.
I am. But yeah, we build
Legendary.
on. Yeah, thanks, man. And we build on anything from mobile games to Telegram games to full-on AAA games to Twitch games, whatever you like. And yeah, we're here for IP. We also have IPs for Dark Horse Comics, Heavy Metal Magazine,
Wow,
and many more. So feel free to hit us up. And
that's
yeah,
cool.
just bear in mind we take care of these things, and we build together, and every project we publish also gets a node for their community, fully stocked. You don't have to buy tokens. We basically allow every project to have that, so that the benefit of the network flows back into everything that we do, and everyone who is part of that, and all of the holders and all of the players can benefit from our token sandbox, where you can test your game token gaslessly and simulate whichever chain you want to go on. That's why we have our own chain. And then once your game is ready, and once you make sure that there's more demand for the token, then there would be possible sellers. Then you can switch to your live token. And all of this is AI powered with a lot of stuff that we received the Avalanche Infrabiddle AI grant for. So a lot of tech there. Would love to have this conversation. Really looking forward to talking in depth about the awesome stuff you've got going on.
Well, I think everybody should give you some emojis, some pounds and some hearts, because that's pretty impressive stuff. Thank you so much for jumping in and sharing all that with us. Maybe that's the note to end on. I think that's a real positive note. Obviously and yes, Carl, I'll let you come up and speak in a second. There's a lot of things that we want to communicate to our community during our AMAs. But I think one of the big things, everyone, is that, every single person on our team is looking to figure out how we can be successful, down to our producer, right? Our producer reached out to Matt and said, "Hey, bro, can you jump in and participate in the AMA today? I really think these guys would be stoked to hear about what you can bring to the table, because our producer's been talking with Todor about, hey, are we going to go this way with the jump scare game? Okay, are we going to do this thing with Steam? Okay, are we going to do this thing with Roblox? Okay, what about what we already had with Sachi? Okay, and see, the producer, he's even thinking like, okay, well, who can I bring in to help with this thing right now? And this is how our house leaders are. And I see most of our core team are in here. I see most of you guys in here with our accounts. You see, everyone on our core team heard me explain the IP, heard me explain where the strategy's at. They know where we're going. And now they heard Matt explain all that he and his team can bring to the table. And this is the reason for gathering in these types of formats consistently, is so that I'm available, so that we're all available, so we can have these conversations. Carl, please go ahead, unmute yourself. We'd love to hear what you have to share.
I would just like to spread a words of encouragement to everyone here. I would like to say that, oh, be more. And what does that mean? I want to highlight it's because some people in the crypto community doesn't have an identity for themselves. That's why they like to um, put themselves into one thing or stick with themselves with to one thing. I used to be that person. They know me as Carl, the one who collects the whitelist, Carl who collects the airdrops. Now they know me more. They know me now as Carl, as one of the most known creative artists in the NFT community space. And it's not easy. It wasn't hard. It took me like 3 to 4 years to be in this position, and it doesn't come easy being in this space if you don't have an identity where you can stick with, or you don't have, or you can't be a very flexible person within this space, then chances are, I'm not saying that you're about to fail, you're about to get lost. So you finding yourself, your identity, finding your people, finding what you're good at, will always pave you the path on where you want to go. And trust me, I started out as an Axie Infinity player. I am not gifted things. I was not handed things. I worked hard for everything that I have. So for everyone listening, I know things may be at loss right now, but I want you to take the time and realize, okay, maybe these are dark times, but what can I do? What can I do to burst out of this bubble, to distract myself and hopefully build myself so that eventually, if the bull run hits, I get something to do rather than being an investor, buying coins, doing stuff like that. So, yeah, I hope that people get to reflect upon themselves, that you can be more and be more.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you for that encouragement. I receive it. I'm encouraged by it, and I'm thankful for your place in our community. PK, raise your hand. Please jump in.
Yeah, first of all, just want to say that I am with you regarding the IP. Yes, you owned it. You have, but what's important, the renewals, compliance, they are just there. What concerns me more is where are we on the plans on using our IP to generate real revenue, and when are we expecting it to happen?
Great,
Yeah.
great question. So when we lay out the strategy, we'll have a roadmap with timelines of what we're doing, the products that we're going to be bringing, and that should resolve that specific question. And I understand that that's important to you, Carl, because you're leading the army of raiders, and in order to recruit more people to be, part of the army and to be holding, they need to know where we're at, where we're going. So we completely respect that question, and it is our intent to give you an answer and the rest of the community an answer to that. Was there anything else you wanted to mention or ask about, PK?
Um, I think that's all. Regarding what happened last night, I think the sell off of our friends creates an opportunity to us, specifically on our uh, members that who wants to acquire more. Uh, it is good for them actually. It's
We
not
agree.
totally bad what happened.
Yep, we agree. Raman, do you want to jump in and say anything before we wrap up? Okay.
Hey, Ian, I'll hop in just really quick from a
Please.
little closing segment there. I think that
Yes.
people should definitely not look past this IP that you're talking about here. This is like absolutely so critical to projects. It's something that I have conversation with other projects I work with about intellectual property with the NFTs and how they can use them. And this kind of stuff needs to be talked about more often. And it literally do not look past the fact that all the stuff that you guys are doing, there are so many meme coin projects that literally are just here for the vibes, just here for the gifts, just here for the memes. But like when you're creating an actual global brand based on a global like culture coin, we should start calling them, because that's the space elevating from that meme coin, which is kind of more just on this joke level, to the culture coin that has IP attached to it, has like merch, has comics, has games, has videos, like so much stuff attached to it. And I just want everyone, for final words, just to understand that like that's a big deal. If you're part of a community and you have like the CEO talking like that, and someone that's not just talking like that, someone who's very connected. I mean, we just literally saw Matt come up here, and we before our eyes a connection was made. That stuff usually happens behind doors in DMs, but I love that it happened here to show that like that's not something that we were like, hey, this is what we want. Hey, Matt, come to this space so that you could do this. He was like sitting there being like, wow, Kiki, this is like legit. This is something that I actually would love to work, be a part of, to actually push. And he's not asking for money, for anything like that. He's just someone who cares about the space. And when we have these kind of conversations within like a spaces like this, that's the alpha right there. A connected founder, a founder who cares, a founder who's pushing IP and is just literally connecting constantly, even in a space that we didn't have that as a part of the space. It just happened organically. And when those kind of things start to happen, and that happen more and more, that's when you kind of catch on to something that's really special. And I just wanted to chime in. I know you're asking for other people, but that's something that I really think that people should take away and be really, really impressed by. And I'm impressed by. And I am very, very hard on this space. I swear, like me, Grim, and Shao, there's a lot of stuff that happens that we just completely just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe these people. But then when we see this is why we want to be a part of these spaces. This is why people should want to be a part of Kiki. And I think that you guys should understand that. So just wanted to chime in with that. It's just a really bullish like little bit tidbit there.
Thank you so much. Shao, if you want to jump in, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that participated today, to our house leaders, to Shao, to Mr. Cool, to Matt. So grateful that you jumped in. I want to encourage everyone that's listening to follow our speakers, and not just those that are listening live, but for those that listen to this later today or tomorrow or this week. You see the speakers on the stage, follow them, engage with them, stay involved. Keep the conversation going. We do these weekly AMAs, and a lot of it's based on what we see in X in terms of the comments. The things I said today were based on what's kind of happened during the last 24 hours and last week. And remember, this is fun. The whole point why we do these things is to have fun. I'm not here to be some sort of serious CEO. I'm here to remind you that this is a culture meme coin. This is a cat, right? This is a cat that we've used for the last several years as a global community. It's been shared 12.6 billion times to share that I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm excited, I'm mad. Like that's what we're about, right? This is a silly cat. It's the world's most viral cat. Let's not take all this far too serious. Now, there's obviously some serious things, but we also want to have fun and be lighthearted and be chill about things. And so I send all of you off in peace and in joy and in lightheartedness. For those that are in Asia, may you rest well. For those in America, may you have a wonderful, productive Wednesday. And until next week, friends, see you next time. Peace.